Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today, I want to speak about language partners. These are very, very useful tools to have around when you're learning a new language. So, a language partner is basically someone that you can practice your speaking with. It's basically like having a friend from another country. You speak half an hour in your language and help them. They speak half an hour in English and they help you. So you can help each other. It's a wonderful system. It's a great idea. One of the most difficult things I found about them is actually keeping them. I found that after a few days or after a few weeks, people are busy, they can't attend, there's maybe internet problems in that country. Uh, for some years, as you know, I've been learning Persian, and I must have spoken to loads and loads of people. Uh, but they all slowly vanish, not because they don't want to talk to me, but because the internet isn't always available these days in Iran. There may also be other cultural issues like how some countries view time, for example. Time in Italy and Spain, just to give you an example, is not really considered so important. So you can expect to be waiting for half an hour or an hour for the person to arrive. They don't really regard time in the same way as a British person would. For me anyway, from my experience of finding language partners, finding them is great, but getting them to always turn up is kind of difficult. In fact, I have a language partner that I meet every morning from Iran, but this week he's cancelled, I think, twice. Uh, Last week was once, so it makes me kind of wonder, well, is it worth doing this every day? Should we just cut down on the number of hours? Does it mean that I have to speak to maybe two people in a week to show reliability? Uh, so these kind of questions you need to ask yourself just to make sure the person is genuine. Other questions that you have to go over is the question, is the person, I should say, on the same level as you are? Because if the person's fluent and you only have one or two words, then I don't really see how you can get very far, because it puts a lot more pressure on the other person to actually come up with a teaching program for you rather than just help you. So finding someone that's on the same level as you is also very important. Someone that you feel okay with is equally good. I mean, if you feel in any way uncomfortable talking to someone, you should almost certainly uh, examine that and consider what it is that you feel uncomfortable with. There's also the dynamics of maybe two different people talking. Maybe one person has a romantic interest and the other person doesn't. That also can be there. So these things aren't so much of a problem as you get older. But when you're young, I think some people just aren't clear with what they want. So that has to be examined as well. Um, just to see how much both of you have in common. I think that also would be very good, just to see how much you both have in common. Uh, you don't have to marry them. It's only to practice your English, and if there's anything that you feel very uncomfortable with, you tell them, I'm not comfortable talking with you about that. Particularly if they start talking about romantic behaviors, dating, and these kind of things. Just be very honest. You can just say, well, that's not why we're here, so I can't really help you. So don't be afraid to evaluate your language partners. And like everything else in life these days, you can expect to go through quite a few of them. I think the idea of stability, having one person there to help you, the old-fashioned ideas of trust, building up relationships with people, these things don't seem to be around very much these days, especially with younger people. So it would be much better for you to expect having to change your partner or just see it as a short-term thing. And if the person is able to talk with you for 6 months or a year, great, fantastic, good for you. But I think you can expect to be going through quite a few of these as I have been. That's it for me. So I hope that's some guidance on language partners. Let's talk again soon, and I wish you all a wonderful day. Goodbye.